it's going. Andrea's videos hasn't been working, but it works when we turn her video off, and then we can still hear her fine. So she might turn it off in the middle of our discussion. But otherwise, we're going to discuss the specific services we are providing for the community.
Want me to talk?
Yeah, go ahead and start.
Okay. So we have been working with DMARC Food Pantry, and we've been at the one downtown Des Moines. So I believe it's like their receiving end of DMARC. So we've been doing that for the past few months. And what we do there is typically like a normal day, we kind of just go in, we talk to either Daniel or whoever's in charge that day. And they pretty much tell us to do the same thing, which is to be sorting. So we grab things and we just properly put them in the bin. And then we box those up and get those ready to go so that they can be delivered to the proper organization. So that's mainly what we've been doing. I don't know, anyone want to add to that? I know we did talk about this next time going to an actual food pantry since there is so many of them. But the need definitely is at all of them. So we were told to kind of pick and choose which one we wanted to do, which location. But I know that the receiving end needs a lot of help because there's so much food that comes in. I mean, every time we're there, there's 5-6 people that come in within a few hours. So
specifically, we are serving people with food that they receive ends up going to.
We're a family here, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a nice thing to kind of understand the flow of DMARC, how they operate, getting to know the team members that work there. We've been working a lot with John and Daniel, primarily John, for a lot of our volunteering so far. And now we're learning how to go in, package the food ourselves, create boxes, find the resources and tools that we need so that way we can get the food properly organized and distributed out to those organizations.
Yeah, because then I think like we package so many boxes of green beans, so then each location gets however many boxes of green beans they need.
Yeah. And I was also going to say, to add to Andrea, we've been working closely with John. We actually really hardly see Daniel when we're there. But yeah, we've had a lot of fun with John, and he's been super helpful and just like a really good example, I feel like, to have at DMARC. So
how many hours have we done so far?
I believe, what are we at, 12 and a half, 13?
I know we need at least 3 more. So if we need 15, then we should be at 12, 13. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, what's his name again? John?
Yeah.
John is just kind of, I mean, he's told us a lot how what we do affects the rest of the food pantries. So we've kind of learned a lot about just the organization of the food pantry, and that the food pantry on the north side of Des Moines isn't its own specific organization. It's out of that warehouse that they get their food.
Yeah.
We have lots of volunteers. We've all had the opportunity of working with the volunteers that have been there, either before we come or after we've already been there. John has done a great job of telling us kind of the ins and outs, both from the initial warehouse where we're at right now and kind of where the food goes after that. and giving us the scoop on what DMARC's all about. So it's been a lot of fun. I know that we all have a newfound love for green beans because we've seen so many of them.
And just saying that one time, they're trying to do less soup, like they want less soup on the intake, and they want to educate the community that like they'll take whatever they can get, but they want to educate that soup really isn't the healthiest option.
Right, because of the sodium. So they'd rather have more like dinner meals per se than soup. But like you were saying, and also John was saying, it's hard to tell people like no soup, because when you think of like a canned food item, you think of soup because they've been going to food pantries for how many years, with soup. But
yeah, I remember him mentioning that that's kind of one of the issues for the churches, because that's one of their big go-tos for when they are helping out with providing meals is the soup. So they don't want to turn away the food necessarily, but they also want to make sure they're providing quality, nutritious meals for the community, because that's very important with making sure that you actually are helping with the problem and not adding to the solution. And nutrition is a big part of what these folks need to be educated on and provided with the right food to have that adequate nutrition.
Yes.
It's really cool to think like the food pantry used to be just like whatever food we can get our hands on, we'll give it to who needs it. And now they're just kind of like they've stepped it up and they're like, now we want to give them nutritional food.
Yeah.
So like their mission is greater than just getting them food, but it's getting them like
healthy food, like healthy produce, like Lafredo produce. I know they get fresh produce from them, which is a big thing because lots of people don't have, the accessibility or the funds for, healthy fruit and vegetables. And so it's really neat that, they can do that for the people that can't. So it's a really cool organization.
I agree with you, Montana. I find that to be really impressive that not only do they care about getting foods to families that are in need, but also their well-being as far as the nutritional aspect there. I've also found it to be really cool that there's been times that we've come to volunteer, and the bins, there's 3-4 major bins they've been filled typically every time that they've been filled to the top every time that we've been thus far, except for a few where they've been empty and there just wasn't any work. So I thought that was really cool that they're doing a good job of getting that food in and getting it packaged and sent back out.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's coming in. I mean, it's coming in faster than it's going out. So when a bin's empty, it's like huge.
Mm-hmm.
Because it takes, we're there, 3 to 3.5 hours, and we don't even make a dent in the bins. So it's like,
it's hard to imagine like there are still people going hungry.
Right.
Because we see all that. And if they weren't there, those people would be hungry. And then we would just waste all this food that to nothing.
And it's neat because some people actually buy, like when they're at the grocery store, they're actually buying for the food pantries too. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was super neat because it's like what they would buy like for their families, but then like they bring extra to the food pantry. So it's like kind of like a double whammy. You go buy food for yourself and for, the food pantry. So.
I think that's really cool. Oh, I'm sorry, Abby, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I know that since we've been there, I've seen lots of different people come in from different organizations, people that are just individuals. They're not partnered with anyone, and they're just dropping on they want to help and be a part of giving back to the community. So we've seen a lot of that, a lot of volunteers and a lot of people donating food.
And the organization has also figured out like money donations are like, they didn't want to say better because like we said, they'll take everything, but they can do so much with a monetary donation because they know how to put it to its best use, like where you can buy things in bulk. And So it's like cool that they're not just mindlessly giving out food and taking money. Like it's
Yeah.
they're really actually doing something with it.
And they've also, I want to add, they've done a really good job of structuring the process. Once we were there, at least maybe the first or second time, like we had it down, he didn't need to further explain it to us. After the first explanation, it was easy to jump right in and get started. And I think all the volunteers, from what I've seen, they were able to do that as well. So it's good that their structure and their flow and organization is together, so that way when volunteers do come in, it's easy to get the task done and get those bins empty fast.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been super fun. What other questions do we need to answer?
How has the team project developed our servant leadership skills? And anything else we'd like to tell them?
I don't know. I would say for me personally, it's fun, and it's like always humbling to be there, just because I don't know, you get to see and experience so many different things and different people. I mean, we met, what was it, you guys, a couple weeks back, we met these 3 boys came in. We've seen them before, and they're super funny, but you know, they're handicapped, and so we all started kind of talking to them, and you know, and by the end of it we got our picture with them, and they were talking with us and stuff, and it was just neat that they come all the way, you know, from Johnston. All 3 guys live together, and they come from Johnston every Monday, and you know, volunteer and give their time to help those. And I just thought that was like super humbling to see, because you don't, I mean, out of all people, we're not expecting them, you know, to come and do something like that. So I just thought it was like super cool, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's always fun. Like, yeah, getting there is the hardest part, but like once you're there, it's like fun. And like it's a routine, like we were saying, like we know what we're doing, we know what like we're supposed to do, and the time just goes by fast. So
that's definitely what I was going to say. It doesn't even feel like we're working. We get in there, we have fun, we interact with the other volunteers, and the time just goes by. For me, seconding on what Montana said, I've really enjoyed the experience of volunteering. Every time I leave, I feel I'm happy. I have good energy about it. I feel like I'm taking time out of my schedule that's already very busy, and I'm doing what I can to get back to the community, and it's a good feeling. So I'm excited about what we've done, what we're still looking forward to doing here in our last couple rotations at DMARC, and learning more.
Yeah,
I think I've learned as an individual, just like kind of what we were talking about earlier, is don't just we just kind of do what they say and like mindlessly like just help out. But like I've learned in the big picture, like do it with a purpose, and they do their organization with a purpose, and they utilize their tools the best way they can. And that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned.
Yeah. And to think like it's all nonprofit is just like these people are putting in like so many, you know, hours. They're doing the same thing. Like, I mean, it's a job. It's a, you know, and it's nonprofit, and they're even like so giddy to be there. Like working with John, like he is just always a pleasure to be around, and he's super friendly. He's always messing around with us, and he's always like right there with us, you know, telling us anything we want to know, or if we have a question. And yeah, it's just like, it's a really cool atmosphere. I'm really happy that we picked DMARC. So
me too.
I think it's been a great way to get connected with realities of our community, break from being so overwhelmed and stressed with school or our own responsibilities, and have fun together, doing things for people, and that's going to benefit for others.
Mhm.
All right, I think we did good answering that one. Next question, guys.
The next question is just, do we have anything else we want to tell him?
Tiana, you want to lead off?
Thinking. I don't know. Like we kind of said at the beginning, we're about done. We have, I think, 3 hours left to complete. And I think we're going to try and go to one of their food pantries this next time. So I'm kind of excited to see what that's like, since we've gotten used to being at the receiving end of, side of things.
I think
So sorry, what did you say?
we'll see like who the food is going to more.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, we just have that left, and John right now has our evaluation sheet, which we need to get back from him here at some point in the next week or two, since you will need that here in a few weeks, Dr. Joe. So we will get that for you. And when we gave him that, he, had nothing but good things to say, and he's been happy and pleased with us being there and our attitudes. And so, likewise for them, it's been super fun, and it's something that I definitely want to try and still do. I know everyone can say that and talk is cheap, but time just goes by so fast, and making time for being there like 3 hours a week, there's really no excuse. And we're doing that now, and so it's like something that I really want to try to keep doing. So I want to hold myself accountable to that.
I like that. I definitely agree. I'm excited to finish up our volunteering and to actually go out and be at one of the warehouses so we can see firsthand who the food's going to, and kind of get a slow flow on that end of things. I'm really excited to, once the semester slows down, to try to find, whether it's DMARC or another organization, to continue to give my time to. I really like the feeling of how it makes me feel as a person, and also knowing that I'm giving back something good to other people. It definitely does feel good to grow and learn as a servant leader and be a part of the solution. So I'm excited about that. And getting to volunteer with you girls, you as well. We don't all have classes together outside of this, so it's been a nice experience.
Yeah. It's a fun class too. It's, at the beginning you look at the project and you're like, oh, we have to volunteer, but it's so much more fun and meaningful when you all do it together. And I know that not everyone has the pleasure of doing it together, but like for us, it's been super fun. I know Andrea we are in the same semester of nursing school, and then we met Abby, and we all kind of just hit it off. And so it's been like really fun getting to do it with people that you enjoy hanging out with. So yeah. Doesn't feel like a class. Anything else, guys?
No, I think we covered everything.
We covered everything.
Okay. All right, we'll stop broadcasting.
Yeah.
All right.